So I'm nearly done with Fire and Hammer. I'm nearly done. Nearly there. There's just a few finishing touches that I think will make it just one of those finishing touches. The main one, I would say, is adding a few animals. Because, why not? Why not add in a few little critters around the blacksmith area? They might need a companion or two. Some of these, they're not great for when it comes to sizing, but I have these guys from the Cast and Play Companions Kickstarter. Because yes, I like Cast and Play, and I think they make really good models. So I'm going to go prime these guys, then paint them, and then put them somewhere. I have a few ideas of where I'm going to put them, but that's for a little later in this episode. So let's go prime them, get them ready for painting, and start painting these guys up. Because there's a bit of a rainstorm going on right now. Nothing severe, just, heavy rains, like most of the state's been getting. Came out to the garage because I didn't feel like spraying in the house to prime all these models. So let's get to priming them a little bit. Some of them I put on different stands because they won't be getting as NFL, others will. But yeah, let's get to spraying.
Okay, there are 3 major screw-ups that happen with this video. First off is just me. That's it. Me making the video screwed up because I've been procrastinating this video and procrastinating working on this stuff and getting this thing done. Because I'm so close to having the blacksmith shop done, there's just a few touches that I need to go and put onto it to make it look used. And I wanted to get those done in this video, but I procrastinated and yeah, I did it again and just, screwed up without getting stuff done that I wanted to. I got some stuff done though. I did get all of the miniatures, the 3D printed miniatures painted that I wanted to put onto this. And the first one was the orange tabby cat that I wanted to make. I wasn't sure what to paint it, but I went with orange, using a darker orange, and then, then for like the stomach and the paw and by the eye, I gave it a bit of a lighter orange and spots of white, just to kind of accent it. Like, I think it looks decent, not like great, but I think it looks decent. And while you're watching this, you can kind of, you can take a guess at what my second screw up was. All my footage was corrupted. All of the good painting footage that I use, where it's a top-down view, I'm recording it with just my iPhone, and I'm just, I just have it up there recording. All of that footage, I went and downloaded it, had it just import into this folder. I thought I had cleared off enough space on my hard drive for it. Apparently I didn't or something. I don't know. And I went to look at it today to get it all, brought into my software and make the video. None of the thumbnails are loading. Every single one is completely screwed. All of it. Well, nearly all of it. There's maybe like 5 or 6 that aren't. And I don't know why they're fine. Like, it said everything imported correctly and stuff, and it should have been there. I didn't check it that day because, I thought, okay, it's good. And then that day, after going and importing, thinking I imported everything, I deleted it from my phone to make room on it so I could record other stuff. Big freaking mistake. And now everything is corrupted. So I have barely any good footage to use. But I can't go and remake all this stuff because I don't want to 3D print all of it again and get it all primed and everything. So I'm using the footage I got. That was the second big screw up that I found out with this. The third one is just the gray squirrel. I don't know how to paint squirrels. I don't know how to paint, fur, because the first time I tried doing it, it looked like crap. I tried going with, it's a gray squirrel, all gray, like over the whole thing. And then I added in like some brown and white to try and accent it. It didn't work out well. It didn't look good. It honestly did not look good. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to throw it off to the side. It's not looking good. I ain't going to touch it again. And so I just set it off to the side and just left it. And all of these animals are coming from Cast and Play's Companions Kickstarter, which I kind of like grabbing for animals. They work out well. They're a little bit too big. The scale on them is a little bit off compared to the blacksmith that I'm working on. But hey, they work. So the third thing that I painted was the bat. And this guy, I used leather brown for the body from Vallejo's Game Color line. I used boar hide and fur cloak from Duncan Rhodes. two thin coats for the wings. The boar hide was my base, and then using the fur cloak for the highlights of the different parts of the wings. I tried to go and kind of not even it out, or what is it, layer it maybe? So it looks like darker at the edge and then like kind of gets lighter towards the end. I don't know what that technique is called. I've seen a lot of people do it. I wanted to try it. I think it turned out fairly well. And then for like the skin on the face for the bat, I know a lot of time they're black, but I want a little bit of a pop there. I used elven skin from Two Thin Coats for that too. I don't think it turned out great, but the rest of the model I actually really like, and I think it worked out really well. Then there is the Raven that is going to be sitting on top of the shop. For that, I just used a base coat of black from Vallejo's Game Color line, just all around the body. Then for the bag that's on its back and the rope around its neck and stomach, I just used leather brown from Vallejo's Game Color line, and I used a little bit of boar hide and fur cloak to kind of highlight it. Then I did something new, something I haven't done before, which is dry brushing. I used a gray to dry brush the edge of the feathers and add just a little bit of contrast in there from the black. Once I got done with the Raven, I decided like, okay, I got all these like little animals, but I don't have an actual blacksmith. And this was the perfect time for that because Cast and Play, you know, the same people that made all of these animals, just released a new thing on their Patreon. The new release for this month, which is called Townspeople. And they had like 3 different blacksmith models in there, or a blacksmith model in like 3 different poses. So I was like, hey, perfect timing. Download that, go and print that off and paint it up. And personally, I think it turned out really well. I really like it. I wanted to make this character look like they are very much they're kind of covered in leather, because that's what you would have as like a traditional blacksmith, right? You'd be having like a leather apron and stuff like that. So I kind of went for that look with the character. For the gloves, boots, bags, and straps that they're wearing, I just went with a kind of lighter leather brown from Vallejo's Game Color line, and then I just highlighted that with a combo of that plus some white. For the pants, I went with flat brown and did the same thing for highlighting. Then the apron, I went back to the Duncan Rhodes Two Thin Coats line, and I used boar's hide for the base color and fur cloak for highlighting it. For the shirt, I grabbed the buff color from Vallejo's model color line and just added in some white to highlight that. Then with the hammers, I went with Stonewall Gray from Vallejo's Game Color line for the heads of both the one on her hip and the big one she's using. And then I just used flat brown again for the shafts, for the wooden shafts, and leather brown for the grips. The skin is dwarven skin with a highlight of elven skin from Two Thin Coats again. And for the metal parts on the hammers, gloves, belt buckles, and boot buckles, I used the Deco Art Metallics copper paint that came with the Fire and Hammer kit. Once I got all that done, I glued both the Raven and the bat to the top of the shop. So the Raven is sitting up on top, you know, kind of like it just came in with a message and it's kind of peeking over the edge. And the bat is underneath, inside the shop, on the roof. It might be a little bit big for a bat because it's kind of the size of the human. And I honestly just printed it off the same size that they have it. I didn't scale it or anything for printing, which maybe I should have, but you know, it happens. Probably all this stuff I should have scaled down a little bit, except for like the person. And that should be where this ends, right? You know, glue everything on, call it good for all those guys. No. As I stared at that squirrel more, I'm like, I can do better than this, can I? I should be able to do better. I'm going to try doing better. So I went and I took just a flat brown and I just painted the whole thing over. I just covered the whole thing in brown because gray squirrels, they're brown. Like, you look at them, a lot of them is brown. It's just like the edges of their fur are white and black. They're not white and black, white and gray. Like the tip of their fur is white, especially on their tail, and in a little bit farther, it's all gray. So I'm like, okay, let's use brown as the base coat, and then I came back in and I dry brushed on a gray for like the central color, and then I dry brushed white onto the tips to kind of highlight. And I think it worked well. I honestly did. I think it worked well. I don't exactly know where I want to put all of these characters. I know the blacksmith I want to put at the front of the shop. I'm not sure where I should put the cat, though. I don't know if I put it up top or if I put it down inside or if I put it in the area that the top can come off, in that little bridge area. I might put it there. I don't know. That, and I know I want to put the squirrel near the tree. I think it'd make a good composition that way. But yeah, I still need to glue all that on. There's still some stuff that like I haven't glued in the chimney for the house. There's a slate stone that I need to put on top of the big forge chimney. I need to do a little bit of stuff for the chimney still. I want to make a anvil to put inside. So that's another thing. Like there's a few things that I still want to do with this. So I'm going to do one more episode of this, getting all that stuff done, and then I should finally be done with this. I should finally be done with the Fire and Hammer box, and I'll give my final thoughts on that the next episode of this that I do. Hopefully in 2 weeks, if I don't screw up again. Then I want to get back into just painting miniatures for my Necron army, plus like I have a couple of other boxes, plus all the Ravage Star stuff. Like there's stuff I want to get back into doing. Plus there's the redacted project that I want to work on that I recently went to the place for. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do all that algorithm stuff. I did kind of just wing this because procrastination. But yeah, I hope you have a royal day or a royal night, and I will talk to you later.